It's rare to find a podcast that can actually change your life. But when the show's called Life Kit, that's kind of the whole point. I'm Mariel Segarra. 3 times a week on the Life Kit podcast, we guide you through a topic we could all use help with, from personal development to healthy living to managing your dinero, with takeaways so you can start living what you learn right away. Escucha el Life Kit podcast from NPR.
This is WCBU's Out and About. I'm Dr. May Gilliland of Arts Partners of Central Illinois, and today I'm joined by David Kamande, conductor of the Heartland Festival Orchestra, talking about Sitar and Symphony, a cross-cultural concert experience happening Sunday, September 14th at the Venue Chiska Grand Ballroom. David, welcome to Out and About.
Great to be with you.
So Sitar and Symphony is such a unique program. What inspired this blending of Indian classical music with Western orchestral tradition?
Well, I was inspired when I became aware of Arjun Verma, who is a remarkable sitarist and arranger and composer. He's based out on the West Coast. And in fact, that's where I first heard a sitar, Ravi Shankar, back when. The combination of Western music with classical Indian music is something that's near to Arjun's heart. And he's been developing programming and works of art that bring particularly the Baroque experience together with classical Indian music, because there are so many parallels between the two traditions. The parallels having to do, for example, with improvisation, having to do with structure, but improvisation in the context of structure. So a raga and a tala, those are like a melody and a rhythmic plan that underlie what a classical Indian work would be. Meanwhile, in the Western tradition, you have the fundamentals of the harmony and all those things together with the form. Also, there's a spiritual element in both cases, the idea that the Baroque music should affect us emotionally, and that's part of the Indian tradition as well. So it's a complete natural.
So you've mentioned one incredible guest artist you have coming, but you also have William Rosell and Chetna Maini. What can audiences expect from their performances?
Well, the tablas is a magnificent percussion instrument which has an amazing melodic element. You can think of bongos, or, there are African drums that also can talking drums, where you can change the pitch of the instrument. This is traditional to be heard with the sitar. Chetna Maini is actually a Peorian, and she has been studying 4 or 5 years of Kathak dance, which is one of the classic Indian dance traditions. And we were interested in some of this music being danced. And in fact, the finale of the concert will be danced with original choreography created for Chetna by her guru. I've just seen a video of a practice, and it is superb.
Well, the concert opens with Bach's Brandenburg Concerto No. 5, and then you transition into something that is raga fusion. So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, the fusion comes from something called the Indian Baroque Suite, which uses 3 different Baroque works of art as inspiration, and it creates variations, much like something else on the program called Variations on a Bach Bourrée, and that was by Ali Akbar Khan. So there's 3 movements in the Indian Baroque Suite, and each one takes off from those Baroque themes, and you can recognize them, whether they're Bach or Monteverdi or Fasch, and you hear melodies that you recognize, and you hear the sound of the strings and so forth, and then it goes in a fascinating new direction in the language of the sitar and the tablas. It's really quite remarkable.
And for someone who's not been to Venue Chiska before, it's a pretty different experience from a normal concert hall.
It's a very cool space. This was like a storage warehouse with high brick walls that are kind of partly whitewashed and high ceilings. And amazingly, since we performed Beethoven's Fifth there, we've discovered it's a wonderful acoustic. So it's informal, it's immersive, it's a great place to experience a concert.
That was David Kamande, conductor of the Heartland Festival Orchestra, talking about Sitar and Symphony, taking place Sunday, September 14th. David, thank you so much for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Out and About, a production of WCBU and Arts Partners of Central Illinois, designed to connect you with the arts community. Our producer is John Norton. Find this episode at WCBU.org and subscribe to the Out and About podcast wherever you download.
Support for arts and culture coverage on WCBU comes from PNC Financial Services. PNC is committed to supporting local art and culture events in the communities they serve.